Good day, ma'am. I'll be reporting about Antonio Pigafetta's first voyage around the world by Magellan. So let's start with Ferdinand Magellan. So Ferdinand Magellan, born on February 1480 and died on April 1521. He is a Portuguese explorer while organized the Spanish expedition to the East Indies from 1519 to 1522 to search for western route to the Maluku Islands, or what we call the Spice Island, resulting in the first circumnavigation of the earth, completed by Sebastian Elcano. So second is Antonio Pigafetta. So Antonio Pigafetta, born on 1491 and died in 1531. He is an Italian scholar and explorer from the Republic of Venice. He traveled with the Portuguese explorer and his crew by order of the King Charles I of Spain on their voyage around the world. So Antonio Pigafetta's work became a classic that prominent literary men in the West like William Shakespeare, Michael de Montaigne, and Giambattista Vico Ferredito, the book in the interpretation of the New World. So second, his travelogue is one of the most important primary sources in the study of pre-colonial in the Philippines. So his account was also a major referent to the events leading to Magellan's arrival in the Philippines. His encounter with local leaders, his death in the hands of Lapu-Lapu's forces, the battles of Mactan, and in the departure of what was left of Magellan's fleet from the islands. So the first voyage around the world by Magellan, the document reveals several insights not just in the character of the Philippines during the pre-colonial period, but also on how fresh eyes of the European regard a deeply unfamiliar terrain, environment, people, and culture. Published after Pigafetta returned to Italy. So Antonio Pigafetta wrote his first-hand observation and general impression of the Far East, including their experiences in the Visayas. In Pigafetta's account, their fleet reached what he called the Ladrones Islands, or the Islands of the Thieves. So Pigafetta's perspective about the island of Thieves is these people have no arms but use sticks which have a fishbone at the end. They are poor but ingenious and great thieves. And for the sake of what we call these three islands, the Ladrone Islands. The Ladrone Islands is presently known as Marianas Island now. It is located south-southeast of Japan, west-southwest of Hawaii, and east of the Philippines. On March 16, 1521, Pigafetta reported that they reached the isle of Zamal, or what we call now as Samar. But Magellan decided to land in another uninhabited island for greater security, where they could rest for a few days. So after 2 days, on March 18, 9 men came to them and showed joy and eagerness in seeing them and welcomed them with food, drinks, and gifts. Those natives people gave them fish, palm wine, or yuraka, figs, two chocos, rice or umay, and lastly, cocos. So Pigafetta described what seemed like a coconut. His description reads, "This palm produces a fruit named choco, which is as large as the head, or its first husk is green and 2 fingers in thickness. In it they find certain threads, with which they make the cords for fastening their boats. Under this husk there is another very hard, and thicker than of what walnut. They burn this second rind, and with a powder which is useful to them. So after that, Antonio Pigafetta said, very familiar and friendly those native people in the island where they landed, willingly showed from different islands in the names of these islands. They went to Humuno Island or Humunhun, watering place of good signs, where they found the first sign of gold in the island. They named the island with the near islands as the archipelago of Saint Lazarus. So Magellan exchanged gifts of robes in Turkish fashion, red cap, knives, and mirrors. The two men expressed their desire to become brothers. Magellan also boasted of his men in an armor who could not struck with swords and daggers. The king was fascinated and remarked that men in such armor could worth 100 of his men. Magellan showed other weapons, helmet and other. He also shared his charts and maps and how they found the island. So Magellan was introduced to the king's brother who was also a king of another island. They went to this island and they saw mines of golds. The gold was abundant that the parts of the ship and the house of the second king were made of gold. Raaya Kalumbo is the king of Zuluan and Calagan, in Butuan and Caragua. Figapita described him as most handsome of all men that he saw in this place. He was adorned with silk and golden accessories like golden dagger, which he carried with him in a wooden Polish shet. On March 31, Easter Sunday, Magellan ordered the captain to preside as mass by the shore. The king sent 2 dead pigs and attended the mass with the other king. When the offertory of the mass came, the two kings went to kiss the cross us, but they offered nothing, and at the elevation of the body of our Lord, they were kneeling like us and adored our Lord with joined hands. After the Mass, Magellan ordered that the cross be brought with nails and crowned in place. Magellan explained that the cross, the nail, and the crown were signs of his emperor, that he was ordered to play it in the places that he would reach, and the cross would be beneficial for their people, because once the Spaniards saw this cross, then they would know that they had been in this land and would no cause them troubles, and any person might be held captives by them would be released. So on April 7, 1521, Magellan and his men reached the port of Cebu, the largest and the richer of the islands, with the help of Raya Calambu. The king of Cebu, Humabon, demanded that they pay tribute as it was customary, but Magellan refused. Magellan said he was the captain himself and thus would not pay tribute to the other king. Magellan's interpreter explained to the king of Cebu that Magellan's king was the emperor of the great empire, and that it would do them better to make friends with them than forge imit. The king consulted his council, and the next day, together with the other principal men of Cebu, they met in an open space, and the king offered a bit of his blood, demanded that Magellan do the same. Then the king said that he was content, and as a greater sign of affection, he sent him away little of his blood from his right arm, and he should do like our people answered that he would do it. Beside that, he said that all the captains who came to his country had been accustomed to make a present to him, and he to them, and therefore they should ask their captain if he would observe the custom. So Magellan spoke about peace and God. People took pleasure in his speech. Magellan asked the people, who would succeed the king after his reign, and the people responded that the eldest child of the king, who happened to be a daughter, would be the next in line. Parents were no longer taken into account and has to follow the orders to their children as the new leaders of the land. People wish to become Christians through their will and not because they were forced or intimidated of. On April 14, the people gathered with the king and other principal men of the island. Magellan spoke and encouraged the king to be a good Christian by burning all the idols and worship the cross instead. The king of Cebu was baptized as Christian. On April 26, Zula, a principal man from the island of Matan, or what we call now Mactan, went to see Magellan and asked him, boat full of men, so that he could fight the chief named Lapu-Lapu, or what we call Lapu-Lapu. According to Zula, Lapu-Lapu refused to obey the king and was also preventing him from doing so. Magellan offered 3 boats and went to Mactan himself to fight Lapu-Lapu. They arrived in Mactan in daylight with 490 numbers, while the islanders of Mactan were estimated to number of 1,500. So after Magellan's death, Duarte Barbosa is selected as the new captain. Henry Magellan's slave and interpreter betrayed them and told the king of Cebu that they intended to leave as quickly as possible. The slave, alleged, told the king that if he followed his advice, the king would acquire the ships and the goods of Magellan's fleet. The two conspired and betrayed what was left of Magellan's men. So after the fight in Mactan, the fleet departed and abandoned Serrano. They left Cebu and continued their journey around the world. So my quote is, the best storyteller is the one who not only knows the story but saw it. It means the one who only knows the whole story is not the one who will say it or who will going to istorya to the other people. Instead, those storyteller nga kaning sila gid mismo ang nakita mo ay na-write para mo istorya the whole story kasi mugawa siya nga gama ra nga istorya if you only knows the whole story but you did not saw the story itself.